I'd like to welcome Michelle Sequeira, who's joining me today. And Michelle is Mercer Diversity, Equity and Inclusion UK Consulting Practice Lead. And Michelle, we've been talking a lot about diversity, equity and inclusion. And I'd really be interested to hear what you are seeing, how organizations are linking their DE&I and ESG targets, and what are you seeing either among Mercer employees or more broadly among clients that you talk to?
Absolutely, thank you, Debbie. There are a couple of things with this. The first is linking ESG and metrics. So what we ran a survey just a couple of months ago, and it's very similar to the results that we found with our REBA report. While ESG targets are now more common in the UK, companies do still lag behind European counterparts, with a low proportion incorporating ESG metrics into annual bonuses or into their longer term incentives. DEI aspects have been found to be the most important metrics in the ESG targets, with 21% actually linking it to short-term incentive plans and 15% linking it to a longer-term incentive plan. So we are seeing more and more focusing on DEI linked to ESG. How they're linked, it's more on the social side. DEI is very much linked to the social aspect of ESG when thinking about representation targets, mirroring the communities within which I serve, and inclusion targets. Am I actually ensuring that we have a culture that is inclusive such that everyone can thrive?
You talk about there linking the pay and the targets together. Are there some other linkages that you're seeing more broadly, either into other areas of pay or into employee benefits, that are also supporting the DEI agenda?
Yeah, absolutely. When we think to pay, there are a few things that organizations are doing. First that comes to mind is living wage and ensuring that all employees are have that as a minimum standard, but more widely, global minimum standards. Many organizations are looking at policies and practices that have global minimums, whether that is parental leave, for example, or any other type of leave provision, and that's becoming quite normal in a sense, and by way of leave entitlements. When you think to other reward practices, ensuring equity by way of the data that we are using to make sure people are being paid fairly, to ensure there are equal opportunities of pay, starting pay, progression, and pay linkages as well. So that's some of the more nuanced aspects to the reward side. What we are seeing when we think to the benefits point of view, we are talking to clients, and indeed within Mercer as well, we have a more inclusive benefits offering. Many organizations are talking about menopause policies, for example, and provisions or options where any parent, whatever the gender, or any carer has the ability to take time off and care for their dependents. Better access to fertility services or EAP and mental health for all employees. So those are a few on the benefit side. Going beyond that, insured benefits and terms to make sure we're getting rid of those that don't adhere to diversity, equity and inclusion as well, and focusing on those that are more inclusive. Hopefully that gives you a range of areas that organizations are focusing on.
Thank you very much, Michelle. That's really enlightening and takes it to a deeper level. So incredibly useful. Thank you.
Thank you. Real pleasure, Debbie.